Yeah, 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 yeah. Mystic Matt turning fives to stacks. Hardy King bets rolling like tracks. Doubters gonna hate, but the cheddar's fat. UFC nights turning pennies to racks. Spread too wide, Vegas holding the breath. Props of parlays, betting like nothing left. Pull the underdog moves like a chess grandmaster. Break the bank, they'll respect you faster. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange. $5, $10, pocket rocket. Fight night knowledge, stacking ticket. Vegas odds shaking, they can pick it. Mystic Matt, every win a ticket. Cash coming in, steady river flow. Count it out, often doubters laying low. Parlay stacked, high pro gamble show. Mystic's foresight, bets overflow. Cheddar change, mystic rearrange. Dollar bills from change, bets ain't strange. Critics might scoff, they don't know the range. Mystic Matt cashing in, pocket feels strange.
And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Change the Cheddar right here on the Golden Octagon. It's Friday, and we got a UFC pay-per-view tomorrow. I usually have a guest. D-Rose is usually here, but he's dealing with some animal issues. So, yeah, I'll try to be quick here tonight. I know you guys want to watch some elder abuse taking place on Netflix, so I will be rather quick. How this works, I'm going to go through all of the prelims, all of the main card fights, and give you my opinion picks for every single one of those. And then at the end of the show, I've got some parlays to share with you guys. 3 $5 parlays and then 2 $10 parlays. They are 2 separate parlays, but they're basically the same thing. One's on DraftKings, one's boosted on DraftKings, and one is on FanDuel, but I'll show you both of them. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for stopping by here, hanging out with me here tonight. Hit that thumbs up button if you don't mind. And shout out Austin for stopping by here. Shout out Daniel Aker for stopping by here. Shout out another Daniel Aker. And then Objective Collecto Elder Abuse. That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. So let's get into the preview and the picks for the final preview and picks for the UFC 309 taking place tomorrow. So first fight of the night going to be Veronica Hardy taking on Eduarda Moura. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 330. The under 2.5 is plus 240. Veronica Hardy is currently the favorite, minus 135, and Eduarda Moura, well, just now changed right in front of my face. Veronica Hardy is currently the favorite, minus 130. Eduarda Moura is the underdog at plus 110. So as you see, that both girls made weight looking, fantastic. Yeah, no one had any issues this morning. Eduarda Moura is the bigger girl. She is moving up from 115, so she does look a lot better up at 125. She was almost dead down at 115 when she was cutting weight. So made weight with ease today. She is the bigger girl of the two, but I believe she's like the slower, more plodding girl of the two. I believe Veronica Hardy is going to have the better footwork, quick in and out movement, jab straight, get back out, and just have Eduarda chasing her around the octagon the majority of the night. Now, if Eduarda does get a hold of her, that could be an issue. So it could be risky if Eduarda Moura gets on top, because we don't really know what she looks like at 125, strength-wise, and Veronica Hardy has, in her past, she has been taken down and kind of held down before. My official pick for this fight is going to be Veronica Hardy to win this fight via decision, though. Moving on to the next fight, we have Oban Elliott taking on Basil Hafez. Over-under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5, minus 280. Under 2.5, plus 210. Basil Hafez is the underdog at plus 230, and Oban Elliott is your favorite at minus 285. Oban Elliott, just a slight taller than Basil Hafez. I thought he was going to have at least 2-3 inch height advantage over him, but he doesn't. Basil Hafez is absolutely jacked, though. My pick earlier in the week was Oban Elliott to probably win this fight via decision, and I don't think my lean has changed much since then. I see a lot of people this week, fans, are on Basil Hafez as him going to win this fight all outright, but yeah, I just don't see it, to be honest. He looked real not good against Mickey Gall in his last fight. So he did win still, but it's Mickey Gall, and if you're not, going out there beating the brakes off Mickey Gall, you're probably not going to be too highly regarded in the UFC. So my official pick for this fight is going to be Oban Elliott to win this fight via decision. Moving on to the next fight, we have, just talking about him, Mickey Gall taking on Ramiz Brahimaj, or Brahimaj, however you say it. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 180. The under 2.5 plus 140. Mickey Gall is your favorite at minus 135. Ramiz Brahimaj is the underdog at plus 114. Mickey Gall has a huge size advantage over Ramiz Brahimaj, and if you know anything about Ramiz, he's a grappler, and that's it. He has no striking. If, dare I say, Mickey Gall be the better striker in this fight, and Mickey Gall doesn't have the best striking either. But Mickey Gall's game plan is to get you down and submit you via rear naked choke. Now, Ramiz, that's what his goal was also to get you down, but he kind of gasses after the first round. So, I really don't think Ramiz gets Mickey Gall out of there in the first round, which leads me to thinking that he ends up gassing and Mickey Gall finishes the way he normally does later on in the fight. So, with that being said, my official pick for this fight will be Mickey Gall to win this fight via third round submission. Moving on to the next fight, we have Marcin Tybura taking on Jonathan Janice. And wow, I did not expect Marcin Tybura to be this big. And when I saw him, that he has, a size advantage over Jonathan Janice, I was so happy because I did pick Marcin Tybura earlier in the week to win this fight, but I wasn't the most confident on it because I was like, man, if he's a little bit smaller than Jonathan Janice, I think Jonathan might come in there and just swing on him. And Marcin Tybura has been knocked out if you just kind of swing on him. So with that being said, I like the size advantage that Marcin Tybura has here, and I really like this fight to go a little bit later, if I'm going to be honest. This fight to start round 2 is, I think, like minus 250. I think that's a solid parlay piece. But yeah, my official pick for this fight will be Marcin Tybura to win this fight via decision. We got Antoine. Are y'all watching Tyson versus Paul? I'm trying to get through here real quick, Antoine, so you guys can go watch the young man beat up the old man. So where was I at? Next fight. Let me make sure that is the next fight. Yeah, next fight of the night. David Onama taking on Roberto Romero. Over under on this one is set at 1.5. I don't know if I told you guys the odds. It's okay. You'll see it if you guys know the odds if you're watching. It's okay. David Onama minus 1,200. Roberto Romero plus 750. Over under on this one is set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 135. Under 1.5 plus 105. And yeah, what do we say here? We don't really know nothing about Roberto Romero, how tough he is or anything like that, but we know David Onama is a finisher, and I suspect he's just going to come in here and do that. Do not bet this fight, please, because you never really know, and David Onama is such a huge favorite. Hell, maybe even take a stab with the dog if you need to bet it, but my official pick for this fight will be David Onama to win this fight via first round knockout. Let's see what you guys got to say. Damn, you got you. I mean, if you just take names away from it, Antoine, it's a 60-year-old man versus a 27, 28-year-old man. Like, I wish Jake Paul would get knocked out, but my wishes don't come true. I'm pretty sure I just heard gunshots. And I don't know shit about boxing, and I just don't enjoy watching elder abuse, I guess. I don't know. All right, moving on to the next fight. We have maybe some elder abuse here. Jim fucking Miller taking on Damon, the Leech Jackson. Both dudes are a little bit older. Damon Jackson moving up to 155. Currently, odds for this fight are plus 154 for Jim Miller and Damon Jackson, minus 185, your favorite. Over under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 160, under 2.5 plus 124. Yeah, I don't know if moving up was the best move for Damon Jackson, to be honest. He still looked kind of rough this morning. Don't look as cut as he normally looks down at 145. And Jim Miller has got some fucking thunderous power. So, yeah, I said it earlier in the week. I may look like an idiot, but give me Jim Miller to knock out Damon Jackson the same way that Ilia Topuria did. Back him up against the fence, throw those short, clean hooks, because Jim Miller does have short, clean, powerful hooks. I think he can get Damon Jackson out of there. Give me Jim Miller to win this fight via second round knockout. Only 58? Only? Oh, guys, you guys. Oh goodness. I hope Jake gets knocked out, but I don't know. Next fight of the night, we have Chris, the All-American Weidman, taking on your boy, Eric Anderson. Yeah, I was on Chris Weidman earlier in the weekend. After seeing this face-off, don't feel as good about it, to be honest. Got to be honest. Chris Weidman currently minus 108. Eric Anders currently minus 112. Over under on this one. Over under. What am I saying? Over under on this one is 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 215. Under 2.5 plus 165. I think that if this goes to decision, Chris Weidman is able to win more of the cage pushing exchanges. My issue is Eric Anders looks fantastic, and Chris Weidman, he gets hit. So if he gets hit one solid time by Eric Anders, I could see him going down. But I'm going to ride with the hometown guy, the one that the fans are going to be cheering for. Give me the All-American Chris Weidman to win this fight via decision. To win this cage push via decision. Jake is an absolute lock to win, as painful as it be. But at least we will see one old man win Jim Miller. Hopefully, Daniel. Hopefully, A10 gets this shit done. Let's see, where are we at? Are we at this one? Yeah, we are. Up next, we have Jonathan Dragon Martinez taking on Marcus McGee. And yeah, I like this. I like the size. I like the face-off here. Jonathan Martinez plus 110, the dog. Marcus McGee is minus 130, the favorite. Over-under on this one is set at 2.5. Over 2.5, minus 160. Under 2.5, plus 124. Yeah, I think Marcus McGee runs through Jonathan Martinez. And, man, Jonathan Martinez did not look like he had a good weight cut this morning. He looked like death on the scale. And Marcus McGee up there, shredded. It's crazy that these guys weigh the same because Marcus McGee literally jacked and Jonathan Martinez is not, and they're the same height. So, yeah, I like Marcus McGee everywhere here. I expect Marcus McGee to probably end up putting Jonathan Martinez down sometime in the second round. So give me Marcus, the Maniac McGee, to knock out Jonathan Martinez in round number 2. Moving on, we have James Yantop taking on Mauricio Hufi. Mauricio Hufi minus 900. James Yantop plus 600. Over under on this one is set at 1.5. Over 1.5 is minus 154. Under 1.5 is plus 120. Yeah, this dude missed weight this morning by like a pound and some change, but I heard them weigh in. He was like 166.2. I was like, what? How was that a pound and some change? So I had to go back. So this fight was originally scheduled at 155. Last night or two, I think last night they moved it up to a catch weights at 165. and James Yontop still missed 165. He missed 166, the 1 pound over limit by 0.2. And he is a big kid. It does make sense, but I think he just doesn't know how to cut weight. And yeah, UFC is about to feed him to this absolute killer in Mauricio Hoofy. I do think the James Yontop is tough as all hell, and I do think that Hoofy is going to have trouble knocking out on Yontop here. So call me crazy. I do think the game plan is there, especially the game plan is put out for what to do to James Yontop. So Mauricio Hoofy is Brazilian. I say it all the time. If you're born in Brazil, you basically have jiu-jitsu ingrained in your mitochondria. You come out of the womb, you're wrapped in a gi, and you start doing jiu-jitsu. That's how it goes when you're in Brazil. So I know that Mauricio Hoofy has some type of submission skills. He's Brazilian, and James Yontop loses via submissions. So Mauricio Hoofy has no submissions, but I am picking Mauricio Hoofy to win this fight. Let's go via second round submission once he realizes that he's not going to knock this guy out because he's too tough. Moving on, we've got Killer Karine Silva taking on Viviane Araújo. One of my favorite names. One of my favorite fighters. I'm going to be honest. Vivi's just getting a little bit older now. She's still a killer. If you're not game, she'll still put your lights out. But the thing is, Killer Karine Silva is game. And, she's tearing through these chicks pretty much with ease, aside from Ariane Lipski. Basically the same level of competition that I consider Viviane Araújo to be. I do think Vivi would probably knock out Ariane, though. With that being said, though, I think Ariane, what am I saying? I think Karine Silva here is able to take Viviane Araújo down probably every round and just probably control the majority of the time there. Probably going to be a not entertaining fight at all because Vivi knows how to stay safe on the ground. And, she's just going to lay there. So with that being said, unfortunately, I do love me some Viviane Araújo, but give me Killer Karine Silva to win this fight via decision. Very boring decision. All right, so moving on to the featured fight of the night, we've got Bo Nickel taking on the Bear Jew, Paul Craig. With that being said, hope didn't give you guys the odds on the last one, but it's okay. Bo Nickel is currently minus 1350, your favorite. Paul Craig plus 800, the underdog. Over-under on this one is set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 140, under 1.5, minus 180. Yeah, I said it earlier in the week. I think Bo Nickel probably knocks out Paul Craig in the first round just because Paul Craig's got a bad chin, and that's the reason he moved down from 205 is because he said the guys were too big and too strong, too powerful. Then he moves down and gets knocked out again. So I don't think anything changes. I think Paul Craig's chin is just cracked. I don't think there's anything he can do. If you touch it, he's going out. On the other hand, he is that unicorn. If Bo Nickel, goes in with takedown, ends up in guard, it is going to be a sketchy situation for Bo Nickel. But with that being said, I'm just sticking with my gut. I think Bo Nickel probably knocks out Paul Craig, probably in the first round. If Jake KOs Mike, everyone in boxing going to be calling out Jake. I don't know why. I lost interest a while back. I lost interest. Like, okay, I see what this is. I'm just not entertained. Co-main event of the evening. We've got Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira taking on Iron Michael Chandler. We've already seen this bad boy once. I'm hoping it goes just like that, the same. What a barn burner of a fight. I don't know how it must be so frustrating being Michael Chandler's coach because he's not sticking to any sort of game plan. He's going out there and winging hooks, which makes this fight damn near impossible to call because if he lands one of those hooks, he's putting you out. But at the same time, Charles Oliveira, we showed that he's game in the last fight. If you don't put him out with that first one, he's going to come back and he's going to put it on you in the second round. So I truly hope that this fight looks a lot like the first fight. Before I knew about the glove switches and all that, I did have Charles Oliveira via second round submission. Gloves have changed now. I don't think my pick is going to change, though. I think Charles Oliveira ends up hurting Michael Chandler and ends up hopping on his back and submits him with a rear naked choke. So let's go Charles Oliveira. Let's go second round submission. Let's see. We got Wedgie King here. Cowboy can keep the distance and pick Chandler apart. Are you talking about Oliveira? I'm not sure. There we go. Main event time. We've got Johnny Bones Jones, or he said it, I think embedded or in the countdown. Call him Johnny Meat. Let's not do that, John. Let's not do that. We've got John Jones taking on Stipe Miocic. Yeah, the odds for this are just way blown out. John Jones minus 700, Stipe Miocic plus 500. What are we doing here? I know John's good. He's the greatest. He's going to win this fight, but man, 700 just seems a little outlandish, to be honest. My official way that I think this fight goes is John to just stay at distance the whole time, using a lot of those oblique kicks, leg kicks, jabs, a few eye pokes here and there, just keeping his distance, staying safe, not wanting to get touched up by Stipe Miocic. And if he does get touched up, I suspect him to dive under, hit the double leg takedown, lift Stipe up, and put Stipe on his back. I think John Jones wins this fight via decision, whether it goes his way or he gets touched up more than he wants to. I think Stipe is really tough. Both guys are a little bit older now, but Stipe is still a really good fighter, and he's prepared well for this fight. He knows who he's taking on. So give me John Jones to win this fight via decision. All right. Do Bronx, Charles. I think you might get him confused with Cowboy Oliveira. Like he used to be in the UFC, but Do Bronx, I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into the change of the cheddar. I'm going to get confused. Change of the cheddar. Let's get to these bets. So I've got 3 $5 parlays and 2 $10 parlays that are basically the same thing. One is on FanDuel and one is boosted on DraftKings. They do look a little bit different. All right. So with that being said, get to the first one. This is the pay for the pay-per-view parlay. So if you don't want to pay for the pay-per-view, like I don't want to pay for the pay-per-view, I'm going to try to help you out with a little pay for the pay-per-view parlay. So $5 on this. It's all prelim fights. If we hit all of these, it will pay for the pay-per-view. And it goes like this. It is a 5-leg parlay at plus 1671. It is Oban Elliott, 3 or decision. Mickey Gall moneyline. Marcin Tybura versus Janata Janice to start round 2. Jim Miller moneyline and Marcus McGee moneyline. And if we hit all 5 of those parlays, then our pay-per-view will be free. And I'm sure the majority of you guys just stream that shit anyway. But for me, I pay for it because I hate when it freezes. Then I got to get up and I got to reload that shit. So with that being said, that's our first parlay. Our second parlay is a 3 or decision parlay. So basically all the fights that I suspect to start round 3 or go to decision. Here we go. It is a 5-leg parlay at plus 6,092. It is Veronica Hardy to win the fight via points. Oban Elliott to win 3 or decision. Marcin Tybura to win 3 or decision, Karine Silva to win 3 or decision, and John Jones to win 4 or 5 or decision. As I said, I do think John Jones wins that fight via decision, and I've got the opposite, a violence parlay. So that was the decision parlay. This is going to be all violence. This is $5, 3 legs. $5 to win $483. It is a plus 9,566. It is Mickey Gall to win by submission in round 2 or 3. Marcus McGee to win by KO in round 2 or 3. And Charles Oliveira to win in round 1, 2, or 3. It doesn't matter how, just win. So, got to be honest, y'all. I think this one hits. Out of all of them, I really think this one hits. It's not too many legs, and I do think all 3 finishes happen this way. Could it happen a little bit earlier? I hope not. I hope not. So let's get to the 2 big ones, 2 $10 ones. These are basically the same. They're both 9 legs. My most confident picks on the entire card. So basically the same thing on each one, but I'm going to show you guys each one of them. So the first one is on FanDuel. It's 9 legs to win 777. Kind of a little lucky number there, but 9 legs, it's plus 7,671. It's Veronica Hardy, 3-year decision. Oban Elliott, 3-year decision. Mickey Gall, money line. Marcin Tybura versus Janana Janice to start round 2. Jim Miller, money line. Marcus McGee, money line. Karina Silva, money line. Do Bronx versus Michael Chandler to not start round 4. So just in the first 3 rounds, doesn't matter who wins. And for the John Jones versus Stipe fight to start round 2. So $10 on that will win you 777 if we're able to hit all 9 legs. And as I said, basically the same thing on DraftKings, but it is boosted, so it is a lot more money. It is $2 grand, $10 to win $2 grand, and it goes like Veronica Hardy, 3-year decision. Oban Elliott, and over a round and a half. That's under your little parlay section there on DraftKings. Mickey Gall, money line. Marcin Tybura versus Janana Janice to start round 2. Jim Miller, money line. Marcus McGee, money line. Karine Silva, 3-or decision. Charles Oliveira, and under 2.5 rounds. And the main event, John Jones versus Stipe to start round 3. So not exactly the same, but kind of the same on each one of those. And $10 on that one. It is boosted on DraftKings. Make sure you use your DraftKings boost if you haven't already. $10 to win $2,050. So wouldn't even be the biggest one that I've hit from DraftKings. So with that being said, those are all my picks. Every fight on the card, I'll run through them one last time if you missed it. So Veronica Hardy via decision. Oban Elliott via decision. Mickey Gall via second or third round submission. I'm not sure which. Let's go Marcin Tybura via decision. David Onama, first round knockout. Jim Miller, second round knockout. Chris Weidman via decision. Marcus McGee via second round knockout. Mauricio Hufi via second round submission. Killer Karine Silva via decision. Bo Nickel via first round knockout. Let's go Charles Oliveira via second round submission. And John Bones Jones via decision. And one more time, if you missed my parlays, $5 to win 88. That's the pay for the pay-per-view parlay. The decision and points parlay, $5 to win 309. The violence parlay, $5 to win 483 on the 3-leg. And my 2 most confident $10. One is on FanDuel, one is on DraftKings. This is the FanDuel one, and this is the DraftKings one. That one is $10 to win $2 grand. So with that being said, thank you all for stopping by here, hanging out with your boy Matt over here on the Golden Octagon. Change to Cheddar over here tonight. Remember, if you are betting your money on these fights happening tomorrow and tonight, please remember it's a fist fight, and at the end of the day, anything can happen. So just stay safe. Don't be betting more than you can afford to lose. You saw a bet. What is that? $20, $35. It's not a whole lot. Is that all the money I bet? No, but let's not go there. I can afford to bet all the bullshit that I'm betting. I don't bet a lot, as you see. So I have a whole bunch of those. So with that being said, y'all be safe out there. Y'all enjoy the fights this weekend. And yeah, enjoy probably the last time you'll ever see John Jones fight. With that being said, thank you all for stopping by here, hanging out with me, Matt, here tonight. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here. And with that being said, I'll catch you all tomorrow night, because me and D Rose will be watching the fights live streaming, having a fight companion over at his place. I got to wake up about 6 a.m. in the morning to drive 5 hours across the state to end up at his place by the time he gets off work. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the UFC 309 live fight companion stream. Until then, y'all be safe. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. Enjoy that elder abuse.